ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुवन्दनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरं। हरे कृष्णा। Thank you for joining. So today we will be discussing the overview of Srimad Bhagavatam, starting from Canto 4, Chapter 17. So before that, no, it was a little gap is there. So what I'll do is I'll try to cover up um, the story behind, that chapters. Okay. So we are discussing the like yeah, it is starting from third canto. It is the discussion between Maitreya and Vidura. And Vidura is asking questions, and Maitreya is explaining about different pastimes of uh, Krishna and his devotees. Now here, after in this section of the fourth canto, after explaining about the um, explaining about Dhruva Maharaj and also after how the Prajapati about Lord Shiva, Prajapati getting curds, all those things. Then finally, Vidura asked about Prachetas because these are the great devotees. Mm. So Bhagavatam is the story of devotees. So now, because mm, Vidura asked about Prachetas, he discussed about the lineage of Prachetas. They are coming in the Dhruva's descendants, okay? And in the lineage of Dhruva, after there was another personality, his name is Vena, who is very cruel. Actually, Dhruva's eldest son was Utkala, who like no, but Utkala used to behave like a not ordinary person because he used to behave like some differently so that now people won't actually glorify him. They won't put him on the kingly position because he already from the beginning he actually understood the nature of this material world and he wanted to renounce this material world and go back to uh, to do austerities and to only perform bhakti. So he thought everything is are the bonds and he actually he even though he is selfless he pretended as if he is unintelligent, and that's why his brother Vatsara was made the king, and Vatsara and after Vatsara Chakshusha Manu appeared in 5 generations later after Vatsara, and Anga was the grandson of Chakshusha Manvantara. So this Anga is the father of Vena, and Vena was Vena married actually, Anga married Sunita, who was actually daughter of Mrityu. Because of this, this tamasic behavior coming from the roots of the mother. See, father will give the seed, but mother gives the body and the like subtle body and gross body. So the consciousness of both the families will be present in the child. Mm. So And due to this lineage of Sunita, who was the granddaughter, who was the daughter of Mrityu, his son, her son, like no Anga's son, Anga and Sunita's son, Vena started behaving very differently. He used to go for playing with the children. He used to drown them in the water and then kill them. And violence for him is a fun activity. Like now people is a psycho mentality. So and everybody was very much afraid because he is the son of the king. And no, if it is ordinary person, they would have done something. But he is son of the king, and king also realized this because king was a very pious person, and he was looking after the people like his own children. So, but out of respect for him, they were not able to deal with his son. Even though he tried to correct Vena was not able, not transforming. So finally, what happened? He got very much frustrated with the family life and with his son and all those things, and he renounced the throne and then went away in the middle of night. So when this happened, hmm, then all the citizens, all they searched for the king, but they are not able to find the king, because they loved their king very much. And finally, the sages and like in those days, there should be a king. So that's why what they did, because even though he is a cruel person, if we give the responsibility, then he might transform. Like that, they gave this kingly position to Venu. Now you see some children, some boys or girls, when they are acting too much, like uncontrolled, like too much naughty or too much mischievous. What they do, they give additional responsibilities. Okay, you get married or you take care of this project, anything like that. So with that responsibility, they will engage their mind and senses in that responsibility, and they will act in a like uh, act properly, means behave properly. That is the criteria. Now here, uh, like the ministers and the priests of the kingdom are in a desperate situation, because the king has to be present on the throne. Otherwise, all the uh, different groups will come up, and uh, uh, all the miscreants will increase in the kingdom, and it will cause more violence and more problem. Mm. So in the desperate situation, even though they know that Vena is not qualified, they made him the king, thinking that he will transform and he will behave properly. But contrary to that, initially they saw some good results. All the persons who are actually doing unlawful things, they become very fearful of Vena. Array, this person is crazy. You don't know what he is doing. If we do anything wrong, he will directly give capital punishment. So they are very much afraid of it. So afraid of him. So the violence and the society started behaving very well out of fear for Vena. But the problem is this Vena is stopped all the dharmic activities. He stopped all sacrifices, charity, and all dharmic activities. And this actually pained the sages, because what is the purpose of the king? To see that dharma is actually maintained in the society. Everybody following Varnashram Dharma, everybody doing their own duties. Everybody is no one is actually causing trouble to the person who is actually living in a dharmic life. Mm. So, but when he actually, he stopped all these Vedic activities, and when the sages, when they thought, okay, let us go and talk to this king. They were angry with the Vena. They actually controlled their anger and tried to counsel him. So when they counsel him, the Vena on the other side, he became very much angry with the sages, and he started accusing them. You are like a unchaste wife, like an unchaste, like you are taking all the benefits from me and glorifying somebody. You should be glorifying me. I am the god. King is the god. Like that, he started preaching to the sages. Now, sages were not able to control their anger. They finally what they did? They just cursed him. No, they just with their hunkara, means with their anger, no, they say just kill Vena by chanting mantras. So then all the sages left. So when the Vena left, because there is no king, all the atrocities in the kingdom, all the robbers, thieves, and all the people started robbing, and then all dacoits, they started plundering the people under broad daylight. Mm. And the sages one time they were doing some sacrifice in the bank of river Saraswati. They saw dust of the cloud dust. Why? Because these robbers, they are actually robbing village after village. And due to their heart's hoofprint, this dust cloud has aroused. And the sage has realized that these people are suffering so much. Now we have to do something about it. So they went back to the kingdom to deal with. And they found that the Vena's mother, Sunita, out of affection for her son, she preserved the body of the Vena. So what they then sages said, okay, let us make use of this opportunity. They actually churned the thighs of Vena. When they churned the thighs of Vena, one one black person appeared. Hmm. This black person is a personification of all the sinful activities in the body in the body of the Vena. So and then the sages churn. If you can see one black person sitting beside the Vena's body, right? And then the sages churn the arms of Vena. Churn means they like just like Mali they churn. So when they churn, like using like the Vedic mantras and all those things, when they churn, the plenary portion or the Shakti Avesh avatar of the Lord Krishna appeared as Prithu Maharaj and Archi. So if you see there is if boy and girl appear from the same body, they should be considered as brother and sister, right? But here they know that based on the qualities, based on the gunas and everything, they know that they are directly the supreme personality of Godhead and Lakshmi Devi who appeared through mantras. It's not like biological father, okay? So uh, and they know that these both are wife and husband. So that's why they like no they um coronated Prithu Maharaj. No? For the coronation of Prithu Maharaj, there are a lot of demigods came, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, all the Yama, all Dharma, everybody came and give different kinds of gifts. Because he is the directly the expansion of the Supreme Personality of God, Shakti Avatar, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they came and gave all the gifts, and then this very nicely explained. And after that, um, everybody gave different kinds of gifts. And finally, when Prithu Maharaj started ruling, one day what happened? The people of his kingdom, he approached him. They approached Prithu Maharaj. Hmm? This is the chapter 17 to 18. They approached Prithu Maharaj, and the citizens approached Prithu Maharaj with emaciated bodies, means they are very weak because lack of food, and they express their suffering. They expressed to Prithu Maharaj saying that we are suffering, we don't have any food to eat, and we don't have proper water. Now, this is the duty of as a father. You should, king is like a father, and as a father, it is your duty. Please protect us like that. Fight. They requested the protection from Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj, actually, until Prithu Maharaj gets coronated, there was no sacrifices. There is no dharmic activities are happening, and there are no pious people. The pious people are getting day by day. They are um, nobody is following dharma. That's why Mother Earth, what she did, she took all the wealth. So, what is the wealth of Mother Earth? Everything that we enjoy in this material world is coming from Mother Earth. So, Mother Earth, what she did, she's not pleased with the what is going on uh, in the earth. That's why she hid all the wealth, all the food and everything she hid. She didn't want to give anything to anybody. Let this all other people get vanquished like that. Because it is said that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Like to when the Lord created this universe, Lord said that you offer sacrifice, you perform sacrifices and please demigods, and demigods will give all the necessities for you for your subsistence. So like that, Bhumi Devi is also like demigod. So because there nobody was performing sacrifices, nobody was following the path of dharma, she withheld all this wealth. So, but when Prithu Maharaj came, everybody started following dharma, but still, she did not release. So then this angered Prithu Maharaj. Then Prithu Maharaj actually uh, wanted punish Mother Earth. So when Mother Earth came to know about this, she immediately took the form of a cow. Because if she takes the form of a cow, nobody will kill a cow, especially a king, a dharmic king, will never kill a cow. So in order to save her life herself from Prithu Maharaj, she took a form of a cow and started running away. Hmm? And Prithu Maharaj was chasing behind her. And finally, Mother Earth gave up and finally started praying to Prithu Maharaj. No, how can you kill me? I'm a woman. I'm in the form of a cow. And but Prithu Maharaj was you also uh, started a counter arguing. You are all you disobeyed my order. You hid all the wealth. You are not providing anything to the citizens like that. He started telling. No, so when finally Mother Earth says, okay, I'll try to make some corrections now. I'll give all the wealth. You do one thing. You bring one. You arrange for this. No, uh, you arrange a calf, like a person is a devotee as a calf, and whatever they wanted, they can ask from me. I will keep on giving. You can. Right now. I'm in the form of a cow. So for a cow to give milk, a calf is required. So when a person who is actually very dharmic, when he comes, then out of looking at his face, I will give the wealth that whatever he desired. So like that, different personalities. Prithu Maharaj actually became a milkman, and he milked the plants, making Swayambhu Manu as a calf, and and in his hands like that. Different sages, devatas, daityas, all the different personalities. They milk different wealth from Mother Earth. Mother Earth happily gave everything away. So from that time onward, Mother Earth, everybody in the earthly planet were very prosperous. Now, Mother Earth also told, so your people suffering due to lack of prosperity is due to this uneven surfaces on my there used to be a lot of mountains. So you actually destroy all these mountains and make the flat, so that when it rains, water will stay and people will be have the water without even when there is no rains. So like that, Mother Earth asked Prithu Maharaj to level her surface. So Prithu Maharaj also, he actually leveled the surface of the earth by flattening lot of mountains and valleys. Okay. And then finally it comes to the 19th chapter. Uh, so after everything was going well, then Prithu Maharaj started performing Ashwamedha Yagyas. Ashwamedha Yagyas, like if anybody, if the king performs Ashwamedha Yagyas, means it is for the satisfaction of the Lord Vishnu. So, Prithu Maharaj performed about 99 Ashwamedha Yagyas. So, if Prithu Maharaj performs 100th Ashwamedha Yagya, then he will be competitor to Indra. So, until that point of time, it was only Indra who performed 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas. After performing 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas, Indra got that position. Now Indra doesn't want to lose his record. So what he does, see if you see, he also actually came to the coronation of Prithu Maharaj, and he also came for he also gave gifts, and he also is one of the calf. Demigods made Indra as the calf, and then they milked the whatever they wanted from Mother Earth. So Indra was, the greatness of Prithu Maharaj right from the beginning. But when it comes to personal, okay, this is my personal glorification. Means he is saying that making 100 100 Ashwamedha Yagyas is my personal record. Nobody should break that record. Like that, he had that kind of selfish motive. So, and what he did, like for the Ashwamedha Yagya to be completed, they leave the sacrificial hearts to roam all over the world, and then there at the end, when the hearts returns back, after roaming, then they will sacrifice that horse, and then they will conclude that Ashwamedha Yagya is complete. But for that to happen, for that not to happen, Indra used to kidnap the sacrificial fire, and every time like when they leave Ashwamedha Yagya, there will be some. They will also arrange some protection for the Ashwamedha Yagya. Is there if anybody dares to no catch that horse, means there the fight will ensure between the king's party and that opposite party. Now, Indra, what he does in order to avoid this conflict, because Indra knows that the sons who are actually sons of Prithu Maharaj, who are actually guarding the sacrificial fire, are very powerful. So, what he did in order to avoid fighting, he actually disguised himself as a saint every time. Every time, one different sannyasi dress he used to wear. So, it is said that these are by doing so, Indra created these different lineages. Every time he kidnaps our sacrificial hearts, he disguises himself as different sannyasis. No, in Bhagavatam it is list of all the different pakandis. No, like the different the false sannyasi lineages are there that are listed. Okay, Indra actually started all of them during that time. So, but the Indra, Prithu Maharaj's sons, they did not kill Indra because he was wearing the dress. He was dress. He is in the form of a sannyasi. He is a saint. So, but the priests they actually realized that no, it is not Indra. It is not sannyasi. Is not a devotee who is kidnapping the horses. It is Indra who is disguising himself as a sannyasi like that. They said. Then Prithu Maharaj became angry and he said, I will kill Indra right now. He has been disrupting my 100 sacrificial fire for so long. Like that he thought. And then when he was about to uh, take action on Indra, the priest stopped him. The priest stopped him and said, Prithu Maharaj, you are on the sacrificial fire. Like you are performing sacrifice. If you kill Indra, it will be your sacrifice might get spoiled. What we'll do, we know the powerful mantras. We make Indra as a sacrificial animal, and then we drag him and then offer him to the sacrificial fire. That way, he will be killed and you will not be tainted. Like that, they said. So then Puthamara said, okay, you can carry that. Then when the Brahmanas were about to chant these mantras to sacrifice Indra, immediately Lord Brahma appeared there. And Lord Brahma appeared there and says to Prithu Maharaj, no, don't perform this under Ashwamedha Yagya. The conflict between you and Indra arises because of this under sacrificial fire. Because Indra is too much attached to his position, too much attached to his fame, the title of performing 100 sacrifices. So don't perform this sacrifice. Like that, he advised Prithu Maharaj. And the goal of sacrifice is to give satisfaction to Lord Vishnu. So you don't have to you don't have to be attached to performing 100 sacrifices like that. Brahmaji advised. And Prithu Maharaj actually after hearing Brahmaji, Prithu Maharaj gave up this idea of performing sacrifice. So when Prithu Maharaj forgave Indra, immediately Lord Vishnu arrived to the sacrificial arena. See, when Lord Vishnu appears, when does Lord Vishnu appears? Lord Vishnu appears only when the sacrifice is successfully executed. That is the method. But Vishnu, when Krishna is pleased, even though when there is some faults in the procedure, he doesn't care. He appears because Lord is Swarat. He is the fully independent. It doesn't mean that if you do everything perfectly, Lord has to appear. He may appear or may not appear also. It is totally dependent on him only. So, but we have to do our duty. Sometimes when we chant, sometimes we feel ecstatic. We feel like very good, and our chanting is going very nicely. But sometimes our mind is going somewhere, our health is not cooperating, our surroundings are not favorable. So, but at the same time, we should not give up that our duty of chanting, our duty of doing regular service, whatever we have been doing. That's how we get more and more purified. That's how which attracts Krishna more and more. Some impediments come and we overcome with determination. So now here, even though Prithu Maharaj did not complete the sacrifice, Lord personally came along with all the Parshada. Then Lord comes now when all the demigods, all the different races, all the representatives of different races like Yakshas, Kirnaras, Kimpurushas, Gandharvas, all those personalities, they also came. And finally, Prithu Maharaj offered wonderful prayers to the Lord. And Prithu Maharaj actually says, no, oh, my Lord, don't, I'm not asking for any material benediction. But I'm only asking for the devotion unto your service, a devotion unto your lotus feet. You give me thousands of years to hear, because Prithu Maharaj used to always hear the pastimes of Krishna, pastimes of the Lord. And he was not able to hear all of them. That's why he's asking the Lord, give me hundreds and hundreds of years so that I can hear your pastimes and release them. Like that, he asked. And then he requests only a pure devotion, only the service unto the lotus feet of the Lord. And finally, he says, no, he satisfies the Lord by performing different prayers and all. And when the Lord is fully satisfied, Lord gives benediction that you will be always you will always be able to perform devotional service unto me. Like that, um, Lord blesses Prithu Maharaj. So, and then Prithu Maharaj, then he actually, like whoever came along with Lord, he actually honors them, respect them, and he worships everyone. From here, we have to learn a lesson. See, sometimes when we go in front of deity, we actually are concerned only with the worshipping deity, but we are not. We don't care about worshipping other devotees who are actually associated with the Lord. So it is said that Lord is more pleased when we actually worship devotees also. Hmm. They may not be very exalted, they may not, but we should worship them. We should honor them. We should equally respect the Lord and his devotees. Okay, that way it will please the Lord more and more. So now Prithu Maharaj honors every one of them, and they went back to their respective abodes. And also Lord also returns to his Vaikuntha. So now Prithu Maharaj rules the earthly planet. Prithu Maharaj once in a great sacrifice, demigods, kings, and brahmanas present. Prithu Maharaj spoke. No? So at that sacrifice, he performed another sacrifice one more time, and then lot of demigods and everybody came, and he actually gives some instructions to his praja. He says, no, Prithu Maharaj, there is one chapter. This chapter name is Instruction by Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj says to his students, well, like you know. So until mid of this chapter, like it is a nice discussion about how the citizens welcome Prithu Maharaj, and how what the Prithu Maharaj rule, his bodily features, his speech, how it is. Maitreya Rishi actually narrates everything to Vidura, and then he narrates about what the instructions, what instructions the Prithu Maharaj gave to his citizens, and then he described about what is dharma and everything, and then what is the share and supreme authority, who is the supreme authority, and what is devotional service, cleanliness of one's, how to maintain the cleanliness of one's mind, and what is like how a devotee doesn't surrender to the material life again and again. So, and he described about Bhakti Mishra Kama, and then like this is a very lengthy chapter, and then finally the conclusion is after describing how to regulate and how to act, finally Prithu Maharaj comes to the conclusion that performing the devotion service unto the dust of the lotus feet of the devotees of the Lord, mm, uh, is more beneficial to us. That should be the goal of our life. Means the devotion service is the ultimate goal of life. Whatever we may come across, material appliances and all those things, those are all those are all, everything should be in support. Everything should be utilized to perform devotion service unto the Lord. So after means that's why Krishna says also in Bhagavad Gita, right? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam, means of course we have to do our duties as long as we are in this material world, but our main goal is all these dharmas I am executing only to please the Lord, only to perform devotional service unto the Lord. So Prithu Maharaj also gives the same conclusion, saying that their only wealth is good behavior, gratitude, and shelter of the elders. One who acquires a Brahminical qualification gets all opulences. May Lord and his associates be pleased with the Brahmanas causing meal. So may I perpetually carry on my crown the dust of the lotus feet of the dust of their lotus feet of the devotees until the end of my life. And one who does so is very soon relieved of all the sinful reactions and eventually develops the all good desirable qualities. So like that, he gives all the good advices to all the citizens. And then all the citizens praises Prithu Maharaj. They loved Prithu Maharaj like anything. And then congratulations, just like a father counsels his son, Prithu Maharaj also advises his citizens. And after doing so, Prithu Maharaj finally, one time he actually, while the citizens were praising Prithu Maharaj, the four Kumaras, who were actually as bright as sun, arrived there. Hmm. So in that sacrificial arena, so these four Kumaras came. So now Prithu Maharaj, whatever the ultimate desire of Prithu Maharaj is to serve devotees of the Lord. So when the four Kumaras, who are the great devotees of the Lord, who are Mahajanas, when they came, Prithu Maharaj praises the four Kumaras and inquires from them what is. He says, it is very rare to get your darshan, and fortunate householders are the one who actually who even if poor give worthy reception to the saintly people like you with water and sitting place. Unfortunate householders are those who even rich do not allow the Vaishnavas into their house. This is very much observed. And rare vision or understanding. Means see what is the main duty of a grostha is use his household setup to invite devotees and perform Krishna Katha, discuss Krishna Katha. Krishna should be the center of the household. And he glorifies them. You are the sick brahmacharis. You are the best of the brahmacharis. Uh, and then um, and then there is no need to ask anything for your welfare. And means for and finally he says, Prithu Maharaj explained, Lord's merciful travels in the form of Shadrupis. Okay. And Prithu Maharaj speech, okay. After offering prayers to them, glorifying them, Prithu Maharaj asked some questions. And then the Sanat Kumara. Now, Sanat Kumara is one of the four. Who are the four Kumaras? Sanat, Sanatana, Sanaka. That means like this. These are called four Sanat Kumaras. No, his name is Sanat Kumar. Okay, I'm not able to recall all their four names. They are four Kumaras, right? One of them started speaking to them. Okay, one of them started. Let me show you that slide. Okay. Then here is a Prithu Maharaj receives four Kumaras. Okay. So these four Kumaras now started counseling, started giving advice to Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj dressed himself like a menial servant in front of them and then worshipped them with great respect. That is then he asked the questions and inquire about the how to perform devotion service. Great. You already like in the Sanat Kumar answer says when Prithu Maharaj asks, Sanat Kumar says you already know most of the beneficial things, and you are fixed in attachment to Krishna Katha. Hmm? And the only cause of benefit of human is attachment to the Supreme Lord and detachment from material body. There are 15 ways to attain this. Hmm? Uh, then Sanat Kumar lists all the 15 ways. Okay, I will also briefly describe about all the 15 ways of attachment to the Lord and detachment to the body can be developed by having faith, sashraddhaya, having faith, by inquisitive, being inquisitive. Let me see. Hare Krishna, I hope you are following. I'm not too fast, right?
No, Prabhuji. We are following.
I've been enjoying my freedom. Okay. Now the four Kumaras instruct to Prithu Maharaj. Okay. First thing is having faith on the process of devotional service and being inquisitive about the process of bhakti. Mm. And applying bhakti yoga in life, worshipping the Lord as the topmost, worshipping the Lord or the topmost yogi, and then regularly hearing and chanting the Lord's glories. So these are the first five. And then not associating with the person simply interested in the sense gratification. So these all 15 of them are mainly based on the two things: attachment to Krishna and detachment from material objects. Okay, regularly hearing and chanting. Okay, not associating with the person simply interested in sense gratification and money. Not associating with the with not associating with associates of materialists, associating with the materialist, and not associating the associates of the materialist, being disgusted with the taste for the sense enjoyment, being satisfied in the self, and molding one's life so that one cannot live in peace without drinking the molding one's life so that one cannot live in peace without drinking the nectar of Lord's qualities. Means we have to have our life set up in such a way that we regularly hear about the Lord. We have to keep our lifestyle in such a way that we are compelled. Okay, this is what I have to do this every regularly. Hmm? Like that, he started saying, and then being non-violent, following the four steps of great archers. No, I'm not following these slides. Okay, I'm reading through a book. Okay, and being non-violent, following the footsteps of great acharyas, remembering and tasting the sweetness of the excellent pastimes of the Lord, practicing yama niyama without material desires, not criticizing others, simple and plain living, tolerating the dualities, means tolerating the honor, dishonor, all those dualities, and constant hearing of Lord's qualities, which are like ornaments on the ears with increasing bhakti. So with increasing bhakti, one develops detachment from matter and attachment to the Lord. So as we keep on doing this regularly, so bhakti pareshan bhavo viraktir anyatya chesha trishayeka kala, means see bhakti, what will, when we perform bhakti devotional service of hearing, chanting, and uh, it will automatically develops renunciation from the material things. You'll give away all the materialistic friends, all the materialistic attachments, and then you'll automatically develop attachment to devotees and hearing about Lord. So just the way a person who started eating, he'll be relieved from the pain of the hunger, and also he started tasting and started relishing the food stuff he's eating. In the same way, when we perform bhakti, automatically these two things will happen. We'll get detached from the materialistic things, which is the cause of our suffering, and we'll get attached to the Lord and His devotees and His Krishna Katha. That way, we develop our enjoyment in rendering devotion service. So then they instruct about the attachment to the effects of presence and absence of subtle body, and then attachment to sense gratification and samsara. So we are in which chapter right now? 24th, right? So
Yes, Prabhuji. We are in 25th.
yeah, this chapter is very big and there are instructions also very deep actually. So if you want, we can we can continue this. We'll finish this chapter, okay? And finally, it says they describe about the subtle body, presence of subtle body, and one who actually the subtle body is made up of mind, intelligence, and ego, right? Oneself with due to the subtle body, one sees oneself as an enjoyer, and thinks of this world as object of sense gratification, and results in happiness and distress. What is subtle body? Presence due to the presence of subtle body, the soul identifies itself with the subtle body. See, we ourselves identify with our mind, intelligence, and ego. And mind, intelligence, and ego are constantly in touch with the gross body. So, in one sense, why we are identifying ourselves with this gross body is due to the presence of subtle body. So, that's why the Ashtanga yogis, they try to destroy the subtle body. So, but Bhakti yogis, what they do? They spiritualize the subtle body. So they utilize the everything in the service of the Lord. They don't develop negativity. They don't develop the Mayavadis. They say na Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Devotees don't do that. They spiritualize the subtle body. How to spiritualize subtle body? Whatever mind will store all the information that is provided to you. So give the information which actually is spiritual in nature. Hear about the Supreme Lord, now taste about prasadam, and if you want to hear some nice music, hear some kirtan or do kirtan. So release only bhakti or spiritualize all our activities. That way our mind will store only the spiritual aspects, and intelligence, use our intelligence to do all the spiritualize all the activities, and ego should be identified with the ego of the Supreme Lord and Guru. Means we don't have any other personal motives, any other personal desires other than the desires of the Supreme Lord and desires of the Guru. So that way we can spiritualize our subtle body. So but attachment to sense gratification is they say that if you do that, you'll attain liberation. If you don't do that, if you are thinking of sense gratification, mind becomes agitated, and discriminating power of the intelligence is lost. And then memory is lost, and then knowledge is destroyed. And then this will lead to sense gratification leads to lower form of life. So when the knowledge is lost, the person will don't know what he's doing, why he's doing. He invests all his time and energy in all the materialistic activities, all the temporary things. See, you don't actually need so much indulgence into this news and all these things. Or whatever is required for us will automatically come to know. But when we go more and more in deeper into those things, we get involved in, we identify ourselves with all those things. We get lost there. Our identification should be mainly Jivera Surupa Krishna. I'm the servant of Krishna. I'm servant of my spiritual master. I am a devotee. That should be our main identification. That should be our main identity. And all our inquiries, all our associations, all our hankering should be on that line. That way, we uh, we do not fall in these sense gratificatory things. So that's why he said, right? Attached to Krishna, like always remember Krishna means hearing about Krishna, absolving the devotees, performing devotional service, all those things. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. For that to happen, we should avoid all the materialistic association. When we go in the materialistic association, we talk something which is not about Krishna. We do something which is not related to Krishna consciousness, and we are compelled to do that. Like My mother, she, as long as she was with the devotees, she used to chant nicely. But when she went to our village, she was a little bit hesitant to even hold bead bag and chant. Why? Because everybody, none of them are chanting. And when she was, she was thinking that if I hold this bead bag, what will people will think? Like that, she was thinking, no. So, like, I was worried. Are how come, like, no, so why do you want to think about others? No, it's but still she's in that setup, right? She is not able to do that. So means it is, as long as you're in the Aswina devotees, we will be proudly displaying our bead bag. We'll be sitting in bathroom class. We'll be proudly applying tilak and all those things. But as soon as we go in the Aswina of non-devotees, we feel embraced. Oh, none of them are putting like this. Immediately we erase the tilak, no, and then these things has to happen. Otherwise, we will be singled out like that. But that's why, as much as possible, we have to make our friends only with the devotees, and or make all our family members into devotees, or at least make them favorable. That way, they will not be the reason for us to not follow bhakti. Otherwise, if we don't raise our kids properly, they say, "Ma, what are mother and father? You are doing too much of time. All these hearing Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Uh, Instead of that, you can be investing something. You can be earning some more money." They may actually get deviated, even with your parents, even with your relatives also. If we don't introduce spirituality to them, they will be the cause. They will pull us down. If that's why we have to, whenever you get chance, give them prasadam, and then uh, take to them the classes, and get this. You should that should be done in a very nice, uh, so that they don't get negativity. They don't develop negativity towards the devotees and spiritual practices. So being detached from the things that obstruct our purushartha, that is, so then Bhakti Mishra Jnana, they described, the Kumara described that Bhakti Mishra Jnana, surrender into the super soul, and then give up Kame Karma by serving the Vasudeva, and then they said cross the samsara with the boat of Lord's lotus feet. What is the best way to cross this material existence is just hold on to the lotus feet of Krishna. Just hold on to the lotus feet of spiritual master. Follow the instructions. We we should see that that is our ultimate goal in life. Pleasing the Lord and his devotee, spiritual master should be our goal of it. Then with that just simple arrangement, we will be able to cross this material existence. Hmm? Padam padam yat vivadam nateshim means every step there is a danger of material fall down. But what is the safest way? When we take shelter of Guru and Krishna and devotees, we that this entire Bhavambudhi means this the ocean of material science will shrink into footprint of a calf. Then we'll be easily able to cross over. So then, when after getting all these instructions from the four Kumaras, Prithu Maharaj praises the Kumaras, and then uh, finally this chapter describes about the glorious rule of Prithu again. At the end, how the Prithu Maharaj, what is the position of Prithu Maharaj, what are his duties, he performed duties according to time, place, and circumstance. And then the mood of Prithu Maharaj was, he was always in the mood of servant of the Lord. And he was unaffected by the householder positions, kingdom, wealth. He never his opulences for sense gratification. Thus, he remained unaffected. And he performed all the fruitive activities without attachment by his own desires. He has five. He produced five sons, and named. The list of the names of his sons is there, and he protected all the being Krishna conscious. Prithu Maharaj wanted to protect the Lord's creation according to the time and pleasing the citizens with his attractive qualities and mind. So, and then a list of qualities of Prithu Maharaj is given in this chapter. How is compared like a moon pleasing. The compared like a moon is pleasing, like moon is pleasing, like sun is powerful, like fire is unconquerable. Like that, nice description is given. Finally, the chapter concludes with Prithu Maharaj going back to Godhead. Prithu Maharaj uh, entered coronated his son, and then entered into Vanaprastha ashram along with his wife. And then being Vanaprastha, he performed very severe austerities of eating, sleeping, only, like, you can see severely, he was underwent severe austerities according to Vanaprastha rules. Eatings, and he placed fire around himself in the summer, because he wanted to come out of this bodily conception of life, and then exert himself to torrents of rain during the monsoon, and stood in the water up to the neck in the winters, and used to sleep on the earth. In the Vanaprasthas, means after retiring, he went to forest and performed very severe austerities. So, like that, Prithu Maharaj performed, destroyed his subtle body. Why he is doing that? Because Fork Maharaj said that if you identify with yourself with a subtle body, if you identify with the objects of sense gratification, the subtle body existed only because of this subtle body storage of our experiences. So, in order to destroy this subtle body, Prithu Maharaj did severe austerities and gave up his gross body. And Archie performed funeral rites and of Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj gave up his body by performing the very severe austerities. And Archie, she performed the Sati Sagaman. And then both Archie and Prithu Maharaj, they went back to Godhead. And when they are on their way back to Godhead, all the demigods and all the like, they glorified the they glorified the life of Prithu Maharaj. Um, and then it is said that Falashruti, one who faithfully, attentively reads and hears the past hymns, attains the abode of Prithu. This is Vaikuntha Loka. Prithu Maharaj, along with his wife Archie, they went back to Vaikuntha Loka. A Brahmana becomes more learned, a Kshatriya becomes more a leader of the world, a Vaishya becomes the master of the Vaishyas and cows, and Sudra becomes the best of devotees. So childless person becomes blessed with the good children. A poor man becomes rich, and person with no reputation becomes famous. A fool becomes learned, and one gains all auspiciousness and no inauspiciousness. Achieves wealth, fame, long life, swarga, immunity from Kali Yuga's influence, and results in four Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. A king attains victory, ruling power, and tributes from his subordinate kings. So, a pure devotee, while discharging the devotional service, must hear, read, and induce others to hear about the character and life of Prithu Maharaj. The conclusion is, hearing and chanting about Prithu Maharaj enriches one's devotional service. So, let me see. Prithu Maharaj going back to Godhead. So, these are Prithu Maharaj. So enriches, and thus one go back to Godhead like Prithu Maharaj. So that is the conclusion of chapter number 23. So we covered 70 to 23 in this section. Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments? You can take now. I hope you're able to follow. I'm too fast.
No, thank you, Babu. It was very nice actually. You covered very nicely. One question.
Yes, sir.
Prithu Maharaj is a Sakti Avesha avatar, right? Of
Yes,
Vishnu.
yes.
So Sakti Avesha avatar means is he still living being, and then
No, he's Supreme Personality of Godhead himself.
oh,
But he actually he wanted to set the example how to lead life. As soon as he appear, where you saw like any human being appear, even though he's greatest of the personalities, where you saw Shiva, Brahma, Indra, Chandra, all the demigods come and give gifts, because that itself is the indication that he is directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Just like God Ram, he wanted to show how to lead the example. But here Prithu Maharaj cannot be considered as a, like, only consider Ram as a incarnation of the Supreme Lord in the human form. Why? Because right from the birth to death, he actually went like a just like an ordinary human being. But Prithu Maharaj, he actually Supreme Personality of God himself. He wanted to handle the situation, because that time Vena was killed, no noble ruler was there, all the people on the earthly planet were suffering. So he wanted to establish dharma. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhidhanam dharmasya tadatmanam sujamiham. Whenever there is too much of increase in the adharmic activities, I will come and re-establish dharma, right? So in following that, Prithu Maharaj came and became king, and then he wanted to show by his example how to. He worshipped Kumaras. He worshipped all the demigods. All he worshipped different even the personalities. He respected because he wanted to be exemplary. So he directly he is Shaktiavash avatar and also he is Supreme Lord.
Thank you, bro. One question on King Veena.
Mm.
Now, King Veena also son of King Anga.
Anga, yes.
Anga is a very good devotee of Lord Vishnu, right?
Yes.
Now, his son went on the wrong path, and but he was very learned too. He
Who?
knew Shastra very well, right?
Vienna?
Yeah.
No,
But
Prabhu. Like, see, like your knowledge will be covered as soon as you enter into Tamagun. The violence towards others is the grossest of Tamagun. He performs very unnecessary violence, which is actually the Tamagun. So, a person who might be very much learned, if he is totally drunk, does his knowledge will function properly? So you see Ravana learned all the Vedas, Upanishads, and everything. But when he into the mode in the enjoyment mode, those realizations, those knowledge will not come to rescue him. Only when a person is Sattvagun, he will be able to use all these intelligence and his learnings will be employed. Otherwise, a person in Rajogun and Tamagun will use only his senses and his ego and intelligence in a bad way. So he's basically violence, violence and uh, is not a devotee. You know, he's more operating mode of passion and ignorance.
makes sense.
Anybody have any more questions?
If no one has, then I'll ask one more question.
Yes, bro.
Oh, subtle. Now, body is made of gross element and subtle element, right?
Mhm.
You say subtle elements, mind, false ego, and intelligence.
Yes.
So, in a conditioned stage, when the person dies,
Mhm.
then subtle body goes with the soul. Am I correct, bro?
Subtle body in a person that subtle body carries forward with the
Carry
soul.
forward, right?
Yes, yeah.
So when the person will leave the subtle body,
Mm.
at which moment when he'll be free from the subtle
See,
body?
destroying subtle body, like now, as I told you, right? These Mayavadis and Ashtanga yogis, they actually focus on destroying the subtle body. They don't eat properly. No, even Prithu Maharaj also, he followed the same path as Ashtanga yogis. They performed very severe austerities. No, in the summer he kept fire around him. In the winter, he submerged into the water up to the neck, and in the rainy season, he actually went and stood in the monsoon rains, so that he will come out of this bodily conception of life. He was just showing the exemplary way. So, but at the same time, his mind is fixed on. So when a person comes out of all, see, like I'll show you a nice. I'll give you a nice example. Sometimes our senses and our mind gets uh, uh, attracted towards sense gratification. Some videos are coming, some news are going on, some kind of sense gratification. Everybody, even the greatest of the personalities also, they will be attracted with sense gratification. But if the same person is, you did a Bhishma Panchak, right? 5 days fasting. How many times our senses you pull towards, no, let me watch news, let me watch this. Because when we are doing austerities, our senses will not hanker for all those sense gratification. But you can perform bhakti nicely. You can chant, you can do meditation. The spiritual activities you can do nicely. But The means that's why tapasya is required. Tapasya, when we perform austerities, we get the strength to perform the spiritual duties. So if you just keep on like that's why it is said that somebody who is gratifying his senses, it is for him. It is very difficult to travel on the spiritual path. Okay, so that's why Prithu Maharaj is also here showing that now how to destroy the subtle body. So if a subtle body means destroy means we have to destroy all these conditionings. Right now we want to eat something very nice. Right now we wanted to sleep somewhere nicely. Right now we wanted to mingle with some some news or some videos and all those things. These are all subtle sense gratification. So in order to get out of that conditioning, when we perform severe austerities, we'll quickly come out of that conditionings, and we will be able to advance spiritually more faster. That's why somebody does that's not Tivrena Bhakti Yogin. Yehira Paramampam. Means our bhakti should be very severe. Okay, uh, I'll do as per my convenience whenever I have time. First of all, do all my other things first, then only I'll do bhakti. That will make very, very, very little progress. And after some time, we can't see much progress in our life, and we actually finally say, okay, no, I don't see any difference between even if I do bhakti or if I don't do bhakti, I don't see any change in my life. So let me go. Finally, that person will give it up. But a person who is actually say very severe in performing austerities, very severe, okay, let me chant regularly without any deviation. And this is my time for my spiritual education. Whatever may be happen, I wanted to have this. I wanted to hear this Bhagavatam session. Like that, strict with our mind and senses, only that person will be able to advance very quickly. Otherwise, a person who actually perform bhakti along with sense gratification, their advancement is very, very meager. Does it make sense to you, Prabhu?
So, so what I understand that this subtle body and gross body are only
Impediments
exist
to bhakti.
in the material worlds.
Sorry?
When we leave this material world, say if we liberated from this birth and death cycle, and now we are qualified for the liberation, or go to Brahma Jyoti, or go to Vaikuntha planet, or go to Golok Vrindavanam, different levels, right? Now, at that time, when we leave these material universes, does subtle elements goes with you, or we live here?
No. As long as the subtle elements are materialistic, you will not be able to attain spiritual. You will not be able to attain even the Brahma Jyoti also. If you want to go to Brahma Jyoti, your subtle body should be destroyed. If you want to go to spiritual world, you want to go to Vaikuntha, you want to go to Golok Vrindavan, your spiritual body should be completely spiritualized. Now, right now, only our soul is spiritual. So, but when we use our mind, intelligence, and ego, and use our bodily senses only for the performing of bhakti, then our senses will get spiritualized. Our even gross and subtle senses get spiritualized. Now, you see, like we go to Guru and offer a lotus feet, any dust from his feet. We value it so much. Why? Because it is spiritualized. It's not materialistic anymore. Mm. Like now they said Bhakta Pada Duli, Bhakta Pada Jal, and Bhakta Bhukta Avashesh, Tina Mahabal. Means any devotees, dust of the lotus feet of a devotee, pure devotee, and foot wash of a devotee, and his remnants are very potent. One make great progress when we have them. So when we spiritualize our gross and subtle body, then we will be able to go back to spiritual worlds. But as long as we are in this material realm, materializing this, okay, let me have more money, let me have this, let me have that, which is not spiritual, then we'll have, because it all depends. See like Krishna wants every one of us to go back to Godhead, but we expressed our desire to Krishna, saying that Krishna, I wanted to stay, enjoy for some more time here by our actions, by our desires, by our choices. Then Krishna says, okay, continue. So as long as one, but it is in the just like in Damodar Lila, it is our endeavor and Krishna's mercy. We should do our endeavor to the best and then pray for Krishna's mercy. We have to pray as if everything depends on Krishna's mercy, and we have to endeavor as if everything is dependent on our endeavors only. You should not say, okay, Krishna, now only your mercy will take me up. So I will not do anything. No, let your mercy act. No, mercy doesn't act like that. We have to endeavor as if everything depends on our actions only. And we have to pray to Krishna that everything depends on Krishna's mercy. Only by Krishna's mercy, everything can happen. So when these two are perfectly done, then we can be able to see the benefit. Okay.
So let me ask. Sorry, I'm asking.
Yeah, no problem.
I'm still not getting the answer. What I'm looking for. Say you are fully spiritualized, 100%.
How can you say? Yeah, okay, spiritualized, okay.
Let's say you're fully Krishna conscious.
Okay.
Mind,
Intelligence and ego.
intelligence, false ego, and body. Okay.
Mm.
Now you are liberated from this place.
So when you give the body.
Give the body, right? At that time, your subtle element goes with you, or it doesn't go with you.
See, when you are fully spiritualized means you don't have anything material only. Then subtle body, like even when you go to spiritual world, in the spiritual world, they have the bodies, right? Their bodies are spiritual in nature. That's what I'm telling. We spiritualize our subtle body totally. We fill our mind with only Krishna conscious things. We use our intelligence only in performing Krishna Katha Bhakti, and we identify our ego totally with the ego of being devotee of the Lord and menial servant of spiritual master. Then our spiritual body, our subtle body is totally spiritualized. Then that kind of person, when he gives up the body, he will directly go back to spiritual world. And even the spiritual world, he will everybody will have different swarupa. So as long as a person gets qualified to go to spiritual world, all the material things will not go there. None of the things. But he will remember everything, whatever different lives he went through. You got your answer now?
So subtle spiritual world doesn't have subtle body.
Subtle, yes, they have, because their entire thing is spiritualized. Right now I told our soul only, the innermost soul only is spiritual. Our subtle body is material and gross body is material. But when we keep on performing bhakti severely, everything gets spiritualized. And when everything gets spiritualized, then you'll get eligibility to go back to Godhead.
But Prabhuji, one quick question on the same connection. So, but when we are in this material world, while going through our spiritual austerities, we are still in contact with material world, people in the material world, right? The impact of if we are so elevated, I guess our existence in the material world will have no impact on us then. Meaning, everybody has all the three gunas, right, Prabhuji? So, so if you are totally spiritual, 24/7, you are taking all your activities are geared towards spirituality. Obviously, you are spiritually elevated, and like Ketan Prabhu was asking, if you are so elevated that you are really a pure soul, conscious soul, right? But you are still in contact with material world, right? You are in contact with the three gunas of others who are in the material world, right? So that impact will always be there. Right. I guess if people like Srila Prabhupada.
That's why in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says, right, it is called Jivan Mukta, means he's there in this material world, but he's already liberated. So when you are on that platform, when you reach that platform, you will be Jivan Mukta. Like pure devotees, they might be here in this material world, but they're already liberated. So our external factors will have very less impact on them. But when they allow the things to come onto them, then they may externally show the impact. Okay, a pure devotee might also have bodily sufferings, diseases, all those things. He also has to take bath. He also has to eat food. All those natural callings, everything.
Mm.
He may do everything, but like a water on the lotus leaf. He is like even though he is there in the metal world, he is detached. He is doing as a formality. He is not attached. He is not detached. He is just doing as a service. As long as Krishna's service is there, see, like our endeavor is to spiritualize our subtle body, but we will not get our Swarupa Siddhi by our own endeavor. It's only by Krishna's mercy we get our Swarup Siddhi. So for one to go back to spiritual world, our endeavor should be perfect, and Krishna's mercy and Guru's mercy should be there. So for that, we need to humbly serve the devotees, serve spiritual master, serve Krishna. Then when they desire, okay, this, when they are pleased with us, then Krishna will reveal our Swarupa, and then we will be able to go back. So, so many pure devotees are there. If you see the life of devotees, they are there in this material world. But suddenly, sometimes Lord says, "Okay, whatever you came for this material world, it is done. You come back now." Immediately, that good devotee leave this body and then go back to spiritual world. So it depends on two things, like how long the devotee, like Prabhupada, you take Prabhupada life, Prabhupada actually many times Prabhupada's health was so bad. Sometimes everybody thought Prabhupada, like in the initial days itself, after 2-3 years after he came to US, he not 2 years, within early days only, as early days of opening ISKCON, Prabhupada was almost about to leave the body, and finally, Prabhupada again got revived, and he told, "No, I went back to Krishna." And Krishna said, "Okay, you come back now." But I said, "I just started the movement. My movement is very still young, and the devotees in my movement, they don't know anything. I wanted to train them." And Krishna said, "Okay, go and continue with your nonsense." Like that, Krishna said to Prabhupada. So that's how it works with the pure devotees, because they have such a connection with Krishna. So you see many devotees, like I was reading today about the Mirabai. She also was with her husband doing kirtan at Dwarkadish temple. And suddenly she said, "Krishna, you're calling me, I'm coming." Like that, she went into Dwarkadish temple, and then she merged into the deity of Krishna. So they already spiritualized the body, and Krishna's desire, they are waiting for Krishna's call. That's it. The pure devotees. So our endeavor comes into the picture to how much we spiritualized uh, our endeavors, our actions, and our intelligence, everything. And whenever Krishna call comes, immediately they are ready to give up and they go back to spiritual world. You understood?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. Hare Krishna. You're going to post the recording also, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mantaji.
Okay, thank you so much.
Prabhu, is it possible we are not fully purified our senses, but Krishna is Swarat, like you said, Krishna is independent, and Krishna is now showering mercy, Guru is showering mercy. Even though we're not fully pure, but Krishna says, "Okay, you come back now." It's possible, right?
No, but see, you have to express your desire. See, like
No, desire is there.
I told you,
Desire
right?
is there,
Desire, like you,
but
by
not fully
word,
pure.
no, I'll tell you. By words, we say something. I want to come back to Krishna, like that. But with our action, we express in different way. See, our actions speaks much louder than words, right? So with respect to Krishna is watching everything that we are thinking, that we are desiring, that we are acting. Everything is watching as a Paramatma from within. We cannot cheat Krishna. We have conditioning, and we have to endeavor sincerely to come out of that conditioning.
No, I'm not asking to will not cheat Krishna, but if Krishna wants you to be back, it's possible, right? It
Yes,
doesn't matter what
yeah.
condition you're in.
If Krishna wants us to be back, we can go back. But Krishna designed the system in such a way that, okay, as long as you have these material desires, you go and play in this mud. And you, like, no, as long as we have the desire. See, why we came back from the spiritual world to here? We have the desires to enjoy environment of Krishna. I wanted to create, I wanted to maintain, no, I wanted to maintain a family, I wanted to give birth to children, this is my family. I am the king of the family. Everything has to be controlled by me. If I'm not there, this everything will go away. And this is the illusory conceptions. Hmm? And we wanted to imitate Krishna. Krishna in the spiritual world is creating, he's maintaining, he's enjoying, and we wanted to imitate Krishna as a, if you are to Krishna like a servant, like a father, child to a father, you could have enjoyed there in the spiritual world along with Krishna. But we wanted to be Krishna. We wanted to be the center. Then we came here and we were given these illusory positions. I'm this and so, I'm man, I'm woman, I'm the boss, I'm the manager, I'm the in charge, all these illusory things. And we think that I'm the controller. Without me, these things, nothing will happen like that. But of course, we should not be very impractical, okay? Uh, so all those conceptions, all those desires, all those actions are all expressions of our desire to enjoy enjoyment of Krishna. See, you might not be envious of Krishna, but as long as you have the desire to enjoy enjoyment of Krishna, Krishna, I wanted to stay here some more time. You see, like without me, like that. So when Krishna desire is there, Krishna will automate, everything will automatically happen. But Krishna will, uh, unless we endure fully, Krishna will. No, Krishna also says, right? Ye tamam prabodante stam sadeva bhajamiham. Means how much you endure, I reciprocate accordingly. If we give 100% of ourselves to Krishna, Krishna will give 100% of himself to us. If we give, okay, Krishna, you have your time limit starts now. I have only 1 hour of my day, and rest of my day, like 1 2 hours of my day, and rest of my day is for myself. And Krishna said, okay, I'm only 2 hours for you. You are also only 2 hours for me. And then you do your thing, I'll do my thing. So, but Krishna is a very compassionate father, okay? He's not like a judge. Okay? So he is compassionate, but he wanted you, like these objects of sense gratification, unless uh, you give them up, you will not be able to detach yourself from the material entanglement. You have to we have to engage yourself so nicely spiritually so that you don't engage in other materialistic things. You're understanding, right? You don't you try to fully show your sincerity, show our sincerity fully to Krishna. Whatever the situation comes in our life, we are attached to Krishna, like sometimes sometimes good things, sometimes bad things, sometimes fame, infamy, insults, glorification. But in all aspects, we are attached to Krishna. Then Krishna will, uh, then it means we are actually totally spiritualizing our body and we are ready to go back to Godhead. Then when the time comes, Krishna will take you back. Without Krishna's and Guru's sanction, we cannot go back to Godhead on our own, Prabhu. Our endeavors are required to show our sincerity, to express to Krishna that we are very serious to come back to spiritual world. But that alone will not be sufficient. We need to have mercy of Krishna. For that to happen, we should have to have all the Vaishnava qualities: humility, service, attitude. You have to please the devotees, get the blessings of spiritual master, get the blessings of all the Vaishnavas. Never offend a devotee. mm, Maintain service attitude. That way, we are expressing that Krishna. I'm like, for that to do, we have to give up our ego. We have to be uh, totally surrendered to Krishna, and then we'll be able to make much progress and we'll be able to seek directly.
So one question in Jagai Magai story.
Yes.
They're born of Brahmin family, but then they went on wrong path, and they were doing all the bad things.
And they got the mercy of Nityananda and they immediately went back to God.
And so they did not have, they never had guru. But they received the highest perfection and they went back.
See, like Jagai Mother life you saw, right? Jagai Mother receiving the mercy of Nityananda and Gauranga Mahaprabhu is one aspect. And after they receive the mercy, how they behaved. You see the Jagan Madai, they went back to Nityananda Prabhu and they begged forgiveness and they said, we wanted to do something to as a compensation for the whatever the disservice that we did so far. Then Nityananda Prabhu said, you start constructing these ghats where the people can easily get down into the Ganges and take bath. So they built their with their own hands. They started building the ghats. So when they are building the ghats, even though they transform, they give up their all the bad habits. Sometimes the people they offended previously, they when they saw them, they used to get angry and they used to take stones and beat them, and blood used to ooze from their body. And what this Jagan Mother used to do is they they didn't get angry with them. They gently go up to them and then said, sir, please, I might have offended you previously. Please beat me more. Like that, they used to give the rocks and then uh, they used to get more beatings from them. So means like how like getting the shelter of Guru and Krishna is before initiation is one thing. After initiation, how we are utilizing our life is also means mercy of Nityananda Prabhu means getting initiation. All those things are mercy of Nityananda Prabhu only. So that's why I discussed all the qualities right now, which like love Krishna, always get attached to Krishna and get detached from Maya. So they didn't go back to God just like that, Prabhu, just in an instant. They were accepted. They were okay. They were given initiation means you were given the opportunity to perfect your life. And how much serious we are releasing that. That is depends on our sincerity also, right? Nothing comes easily. Like it's not like see like we are going to or back to our home. Only thing is, are we sure you want to go back to this life only? Are you 100% sure? That we have to express to Krishna with our sincerity. Krishna is always willing to get us back. Our Guru says, right? Krishna is more hankering for us to go back to him than ourselves. But we wanted to do something other than that. We wanted to, okay, Krishna, I wanted to stay here some more time. I want to do this. We have our own plans. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhu. Your all answers were very satisfying. Sorry we took a lot of time.
No problem. Thank you for asking all these questions. I hope
Yeah.
others got some benefited. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dhanwad.
Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Dhanwad. Always to His Grace.